Philippine kinship uses the generational system to define family. It is one of the more simple classificatory systems of kinship. One's genetic relationship or bloodline is often overridden by the desire to show proper respect that is due in the Philippine culture to age and the nature of the relationship, which are considered more important. In it, the literal differences are distinguished by generation, age, and in some cases by gender. However, non-Filipinos can be confused by apparently similar relationships being handled verbally differently by the same person, which generally occurs because of the circumstantial relationship or because some authority is represented by the addressee. Other factors that affect how a person is addressed are whether the two are familiar with each other, new to each other's acquaintance, or perhaps involved in a secondary relationship that imparts authority, such as one person being the supervisor of another at work. As an example, a teenage girl would call her older brother Kuya. She would also tend to call her older male cousin Kuya. The fact that he is an older, blood-related male is more important than the fact that a brother is not genetically related to the same degree that a cousin is. The term Kuya is actually likely to be applied to any older male who is within her generation and should be treated with respect, perhaps even the very close friends of her brother. Thus, the terms used are often intended to show the degree of the relationship and the type of relationship, rather than literal biological relationship. This can be seen in social settings like Facebook, where Filipino teenagers include contemporaries in the brothers and sisters categories. Influences on language. Scholars generally disagree on the genetic origin of the original Filipino people, if there is any one dominant progenitor. For centuries there have been migrations from Asia, the Middle East, all the nearby island countries, and Europe who have all given something genetically and etymologically to the Philippines. Over 170 languages are recognized but do not have official status. Tagalog and English are the official languages of the Philippines, and Basic English is more effective for communicating with far-flung peoples in the Philippines than any one dialect, including Tagalog. English's prominence is a reflection of the Philippines' close relationship with the United States, especially since World War II, and a testament to the broad reach of television, which broadcasts in a mix of Tagalog and English. Tagalog is an Austronesian language that has borrowed heavily from the Philippines' geographical neighbors as well as from Spanish, a legacy of Spain's prolonged colonization. For example, Tagalog has incorporated words like the greeting "Kumusta" from the Spanish "Como esta." Familial greetings tend to be borrowed from Chinese terms based on biological relationships. Ego's generation. As a child you would refer to your parents as ama or tate and ina or nane. Your parents' siblings and their cousins would be your mga tito or mga tita or tita. You would call your godparents your ninong and ninang. Family friends one generation above you, like your parents' friends, are called tito and tita, although they should not be confused with tito and tita, which are for blood relatives no matter how far removed they are. Filipinos are very clannish and are known for recognizing relatives up to the 10th or even the 20th degree. Your mga kapatid would be your brothers or sisters. The terms kuya and ate are used to address an older brother and sister respectively as a sign of respect. Any children of your tiyo or tiya would be your mga pinsan, so you can either address them as pinsan or use the more commonly used kuya blank or ate blank if they are older than you, or simply address them with the first name or nickname. Your godparents' children are your kinark-opati. The term kuya is used in Filipino for older brother and ate is used in Filipino for older sister, and those terms are what you also usually use to refer to or respect other people who are in the same generation as you are but a little older. Or you could use the older term manong and manang for the much older people that you don't know up to 2 generations ahead of you, unless they are too old, and then they should be called lolo and lola. Manang and manong is also commonly used to maids, vendors, drivers, guards, and most of the service people. The children of your mga kapatid and mga pinsan would be your mga pamangkin. If you are a amang, lolo, or anang, lola, your mga apo would be the offsprings not only of your mga anak but also the offspring of your children's mga pinsan, not unless you have a different title that you are known for. You may also be addressed as lolo or lola by complete strangers and neighbors just by virtue of your age, as a form of respect. Representation. The following tree represents the Philippine kinship system, focusing on second uncle and new member family. Non-literal usage of familiar terms. Kuya and ate are also titles used to address older male and female cousins as a sign of respect. It may also be used for people who aren't necessarily relatives but are older. The criteria would be gender, age, degree of affiliation, with actual blood and non-blood relationship being the least important. Tiyo and tia, used literally for uncle and aunt, are often confused with tito and tita, which are used in reference to your parents' close friends. Again, the degree of affiliation in the relationship overrides the literal meaning. This hierarchy of conditions would be consistently applied to other familial terms that are used for relationship of further distance, such as ninang and ninong, which are often applied to people who have no actual blood relationship but have earned a showing of respect, which also defines their age, gender, and station in life. Filipinos would generally greet each other using the title like Ku Master Hjen or Ku Mr. Kuya, because doing otherwise is considered rude and disrespectful. Bibliography.